Joy switched off the kitchen light and turned to go upstairs, to bed unaware of the sets of eyes watching her. The house, nestled at the edge of a thick forest, creaked as if it had secrets hidden within its brick walls. Aside from the songs of the night creatures, the only sound that echoed in the empty hall was the rhythmic ticking of an ancient clock, echoing through the halls. As she ascended the staircase, an uneasy feeling settled in her stomach. Darkness clung to the corners, casting long, ominous shadows on the walls. Joy hesitated for a moment, glancing back at the kitchen as if expecting to see something, but there was nothing there. With a nervous chuckle, she dismissed her uneasiness and continued up the stairs. Once in her bedroom, she slammed the door, enjoying the sudden echo that created a false sense of security. The room was dimly lit by the soft glow of the moon through the curtains. Joy quickly changed into her pajamas. The fabric rustled as she slid under the covers, her body tensing as the house seemed to settle with a low groan. Lying there in the darkness, she tried to shake off the feeling that she was being watched. "Stop it. There is no one here," she whispered. But as her eyes adjusted to the shadows, Joy couldn't help but feel a presence in the room. A movement caught her attention. At the foot of the bed, two glimmers of light flickered. Eyes. Cold, unblinking eyes that seemed to glow in the dark. Panic gripped her as she strained to see what lurked in the shadows. The eyes belonged to two figures standing at the edge of her bed. Cloaked in the robe of darkness, their features were blurred, but she could feel their gaze piercing through the night. Paralyzed with fear, Joy couldn't help but watch as they slowly advanced, their movements synchronized like a sinister dance. Desperation took hold, and she fumbled for the lamp on the bedside table. With trembling hands, she switched it on. She was alone. The figures had disappeared, leaving her in the stark brightness. Joy scanned the room, her heart pounding as she found nothing. She took a deep breath in an attempt to calm her racing heart. Maybe she had been working too hard. This new project was stressful. It was the reason she was here, exploring this ancient building that would be turned into her company's new site by daybreak. Exhaling, long and hard, she turned off the lamp. The room plunged back into darkness, and the feeling of being watched returned. This time, the figures were closer. The moonlight revealed their twisted faces, frozen in expressions of malevolence. Guttural whispers filled the room, sending shivers down Joy's spine. "You can't escape!" A hiss resounded louder. Terrified, she reached for her phone, intending to call for help. But as she dialed, the figures lunged at her with speed, knocking the phone from her hand. Their hands gripped her wrists. "You shouldn't have come here," one of them said, its voice a chilling whisper in her ear. The room seemed to close in around her as their icy breath brushed against her skin. Joy struggled against their grip, but it was futile. The temperature in the room dropped. She could see her breath in the cold air. The figures loomed over her. Their eyes sparkled with an otherworldly light. Joy closed her eyes, praying it was all a nightmare, but when she opened them again, the figures were still there. In an attempt to break free, she screamed. The sound echoed through the house. Yet, no help came. The figures tightened their hold, and the room dropped into darkness. As the first light of dawn crept through the curtains, the house stood silent, concealing its secrets within its walls. The kitchen light remained off, and the stairs leading to the bedroom remained steeped in shadows. The only evidence of the night's horror was the phone ringing on the floor, the torn sheet on the bed, and the sudden disappearance of Joy Fisher.